My people, what up though?
What up,
We back.
everybody? How y'all
What
doing?
can I do my
I got hype. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, go ahead.
What up though? We back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
Oh, I can speak. My name is Butter. Thank you for giving me permission.
Uncle Butter, if you will. Tio Mantequilla.
Butter for sure.
What's goody though, Brody?
Man, I'm hype. I'm hype.
Ha-
I'm hype. I am
Happy
feeling
Thursday and all that.
for sure, man. For sure. We've been busy
Um,
this weekend. What you do this
it's
weekend?
it's been a busy it's been a busy week. A lot of moving and shaking going on. Had a decent week. I guess I'll do the check in first. Hey Chief, how you doing? Check in. What's up, y'all? All right, bet.
See what I did? See what I did?
Um, nah, it's actually been cool, bro. It has been cool. We Bubba and I took a trip to Houston.
Now, who is Bubba?
Bubba is my daughter, Mia.
For y'all who don't know, Bubba is
Hey,
his
listen,
first.
man.
He's the one that
We,
made him a father.
we
Go ahead.
took a trip to Houston. And she went to a pitching camp, a Sam Landry pitching camp. Those who don't know who Sam Landry is a AUSL, a professional softball player in the AUSL, the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. And me as a big fan, and she had a camp, and me wanted to go. So I'm like, bet, let's go. So she went there, she shined, she met Sam. It was cool to see her eyes light up when, Sam gave her a compliment. She's like, oh my God, like she just, it made her feel good. So it was good to see my baby in that element, and she shined. So that was cool too. And we get back, spending time with her brothers. We all, hanging out. Went to go see Spider-Man in the new little D-box theater seats. I don't know if I'm really a fan of them joints. It was cool, but it's like, it ain't really what it's all.
Did it move around at all?
It moved around. It was a little roller coaster-ish, but it ain't like
Wrong
it
year.
ain't really worth the, the bread. It was $80 for 4 tickets for the D-box seats in the movie theater to go see Spider-Man. And that's the tickets. There were no snacks involved in that. $80. So I'm like, it was cool, but I wouldn't. If the D-box ain't what it is, y'all. So unless y'all, you just want that experience. We went to just for the experience of it. It's cool, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm not gonna call it butter. You got to go see Spider-Man, but go in the D-box seats because that's where it's at. Nah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But that was really, really cool. We had some good time with moms last night. Well, moms cooked dinner. We all went over here while out. It was cool, man. Outside of that, I didn't get the job opportunity that I didn't tell many people. I think I told them last episode, but I didn't tell many
Yeah.
people. I applied for a job, didn't get it, but what's for me is for me, and it's coming, and it's on the way. So that'll be it when it happens. Just been busy, man. Getting ready, starting the school year. School year starting up pretty soon. Trying to wind down these last weeks of the summer. Going camping with the family this weekend. That's gonna be straight. You know what I mean? Black people on the campgrounds. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, all is well, man. No complaints. How about you? Check in. How you be? How you living? How you feeling?
Man, I feel like I'm on top of the world, to be quite honest.
That's dope. That's really dope because you haven't had that same sentiment the past couple of weeks. So this is a good thing.
It was great to hear what was going on with you and the baby. And she is not a baby, but she'll always be this cute little baby to me on doing verses. But just listening to your pride and excitement for her, right? And her being, just like girl's girl. Like she's so, you know, she's a phenomenal ball player, but she holds it like almost everybody can. Like when you listen to her, she's so down to earth and real. There's a level of grace and kindness that she possesses. And so that for me, I got excited for her. Like I want to see her win. So that had Uncle like charged. And then I had the opportunity to direct a play that I co-wrote.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about that.
And the mounting of said play was like really interesting. It took me back. I think the last play that I wrote was in 2013. And it was my own play, but I had been directing plays for years. Very few people know that. And so it was great to step back in that space. And what I learned is that though I love being on stage, I love directing. I absolutely love seeing things go from page to stage, right? And the wonderment of it. And then she made me think about you, Helena, Barron, like different ensemble pieces, different theater projects I've worked on before, where people have gotten up, learned the script, and then something in that moment happens that you can't resist. You got to do it. You got to say it, and it takes the show to a whole different level. And then, and in my head, I'm like, we keeping that. We got to do that again. And then trying to figure out in that moment, how do I keep that authentic so it looks like it's spontaneous again? Because it was just things occurred last night. And in full transparency, the woman got sick. Our actress got sick. She got COVID.
Jeez Louise.
She couldn't rehearse the whole nine. I went and saw the show with Tracy Ellis Ross. And I was like, oh, this is theater. I have permission to do whatever I want. So I called her. I said, this is what we're going to do. And so instead of her doing a full-on, one-on-one play where she's standing up there just talking and doing monologues, we did the show as if she was writing the play in real time.
Okay.
She was able to read from her script, make notes on her script, do that. And people they really love that part because they felt like they were a part of the creation of it. And so now we have some ideas of how we want to do the show. So some sessions we did last year that I was checking in through the summer. And so he's been really great about that. And this is one of my favorite principal schools. So it was great to talk to her today and look at September. So I'm feeling good. And then when I got your message, I got even more hyped. I feel like if I look for things to work, they'll work.
Yeah.
Even if you don't think it's working in my life, if I look for that thing to work for me, it'll work.
That's fair.
And so I've been intentional about minding and mining my business. I've been minding my business and I've been mining my business and watching my mouth. Because what I've come to understand is that what I declare manifests almost immediately. I don't know if anybody else feel that way, but I've been really present to that.
So the couple episodes you said, I need to make me my client. Is that what you've been doing?
I've absolutely not been doing that. What I've been doing is falling in love. I think what I need in that moment was grace. No, I lied. I did make me my client. That's how I got to the writing. I wrote that play in 3 days.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's pretty impressive.
I wrote that play in 3 days. So now, and we need y'all to do this. Hold us accountable for this book that we've been talking about, because now I'm on fire.
Listen, I'm 2 sections in.
I'm ready for you to be back on stage. Like, I'm ready. Like, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to talk about what we want to do. Let's do it. And move in silence.
Show up. Boom. Here we are.
Yeah, we doing this thing. We're promoted the whole nine, but the building and breaking of it, I want that to be just in-house. Present whatever we need to present is cool. I've been talking a lot. I'm on fire. I'm gonna shut up. Go.
No, you're good. I respect that. And I think what we need to do, bro, on some real shit, we need to probably take a weekend. Go get some good food, find a good park somewhere, safe space, and just get to it. Go get some good lunch, get back to it. Get some good dinner, get back to it. You know what I'm saying? Go find something in between that we can, that we can do to kind of ease some stress and just write, bro. And write. Brainstorm and write.
Get that dream session back popping.
Nah, the dream session, we put stuff on the table, but there was no action behind it. We need to put some action behind it.
I got you. Action session.
I can dig that, because we definitely have 1,000,001 great ideas and way too much talent to be sitting on it. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't that the truth?
I sit every day. I'm not even playing with you. Every day I get up and I'm like, yo, you got to record these videos. You got to record these videos. You got to record these videos. And I've had the time to do so and just took an extra minute to rest, which isn't terrible.
I got a challenge for you. Record a video tonight about having to record the videos.
I already wrote the poem. It's literally that's already done. I just didn't record it, and that's my problem.
So here's my challenge for you. Before we get off this call tonight, can you set yourself up in a situation where we can see you recording it, so then you can get it done and we can hold you accountable for doing it?
No. I'd have to take my laptop upstairs and get the whole setup going, but I'll have it. You'll have it. It'll be on the web, on the internet Saturday.
Okay.
I'll record tomorrow. It'll be on the internet Saturday night, and I'll record tomorrow and have some stuff for the rest of the week.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'll do that. So there we go. Accountability placed. And there we go.
That's crazy because I put out that I'm going to be putting some more fashion content up. I stopped doing it, and today I was like, you know what? I got to get back to it.
All right, so there we go. Hold yourself accountable and do
Post
it.
some stuff
People
on
be waiting.
posting that poem. Y'all gonna get some pants and slacks or something. You getting it? Just watch me.
No, for sure. Yo, so I wanted to tap back into a conversation, man. I wanted to go back to the beginning because those who don't know, we switched distributing platforms. Not that that's relevant to you guys because it's going to come to you the way it comes to you. But we switched distributing platforms, and in switching platforms, we had to do an audit of our content and the excuse me, the most watched episodes and yada yada yada. Believe it or not, we are 100 and I think this will be 170 episodes in.
Yo, word.
170 episodes in, and our most watched episode is episode 1. The infantile phases of the podcast. And which makes sense because people want to know what the podcast is all about. But tell anybody watching or joining the podcast to catch us from anew and then maybe go back. But I feel like that first episode was such an infantile area. You could see the nerves on us. We thought we thought it was well, but looking back at it, it's like there's been so much growth. You know what I mean? So much more skill developed and whatnot. So it presents itself a lot different now. But it's just to say, like, the word is the average podcast lasts 3 episodes. If they make it past 3, they don't get past 20. So we on 100, and this is episode 170. So we doing something, man. That consistency has to mean something. You dig what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep this train rolling. But I wanted to revisit the conversation of why, Butter.
I think
why we feel that all Black men need therapy.
Why is a big conversation. Before we get into it fully, I just want to also acknowledge you and your family. Happy Jamaican Independence Day.
We're not Jamaican.
I'm saying your family. I wasn't saying you. I was saying like the people. Wow. Happy.
They're also not Jamaican.
Some of the people watching this Jamaican.
They ain't Jamaican. They're Dominican. My people from Dominica.
I said some of the people, like, your people are the only people on the planet. I said some of the people watching this episode are Jamaican.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my people as in my direct family. My bad. Play us fuck up.
This is why people, Black men need therapy. Sometimes they can be my opposite.
Because they don't listen.
And a little self-absorbed and don't listen.
That's why they need therapy, because they don't listen.
Man, I think why is very important, especially given I immediately think of Nolan Wells, and I think about how the impact Nolan. I'm gonna say this with my full chest. Fight me about it in the comments. I think about Medgar Evers. I think about Emmett Till. I think about Martin Luther King. I think about Malcolm X, and I think about those deaths from the lens of, you know, when Malcolm X and Dr. King were considered, you know, not for the people, bootlickers. Like, you know, they felt like they were conformist. And then when they died, we began to celebrate them, you know, and the journey and the work. I raised that because though there were also people who did believe in them during that time. And the one thing that we never address is PTSD. I think Black men are born with their name. They're born with a label on their back, and they are gifted as an heirloom PTSD. And we wake up and move inside it. We've taught ourselves to live with it. And when I think of Nolan, I'm like, yo, that could have been any one of our children. That could have been any one of us. And, you know, people are like, well, you can't judge the whole group. I'm starting to judge the whole group.
Yeah.
On some level. But for me, I think that's one thing that we don't do enough of is discussing how many black men bristle at the sight of police officers, bristle at the sight of white folks, um, and really live in a, they call, they reference America as her. And I'm fascinated how often her has been trying to abort black men, black people,
Mm,
or black
mm.
men.
It's interesting you say that, bro. So it's funny you say that because we carry this. Like, we talk about PTSD. We don't realize it, and obviously until it walks up on us. But we carry this um, traumatic response to a lot of
Yeah.
different things and don't even realize we're doing it. Shout out to my teammates on Verbal Slap, my poetry team, the Connecticut poetry team. We were invited to another slam recently, and I challenged my team for us to write another poem. It's like at the end of the month this month. So I'm like, I want to write another group piece, and we just threw out ideas. And shout out to my girl Yex. Yex was like, we should write about trauma being a gateway drug. And I'm like, holy shit! Like it's kind of like a play on how people you say weed is the gateway drug, but trauma is something that has been shit. You could almost call it an addiction in some people's lives.
Yeah,
They don't.
not almost. You got it.
You think that's fair? Like
Hell,
it's
there are so many of us addicted to pain. Dude, I was addicted to struggling. If I
yeah,
didn't struggle, then my story of struggle didn't work. So I created struggle where there was none. My old therapist told me I was a convenient victim.
a convenient victim.
Yeah. She said she was like, you talk about your life like you love it, but when it's going good, you look for bad.
That's fair. I remember one episode we were talking about Prentice, and then the same conversation came up, and it was like everybody needs a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like why? Why do we?
Well, I think when you've been deemed the bad guy, I think that's what you show up as. The bad dude. Think about it. I told you the reason why I didn't go to my family reunion. I made it about, the finances and the blah, blah, blah. Bing bong, new pair of shoes was delivered. I was like, wait, I lied. I lost some money on the trip for sure. But what I gained was the truth that I got tired of being the favorite uncle, but the loneliest person there. Right? I'm good for my cousins. I'm good for my brothers and sisters. I'm good, good, good. And they aren't doing anything wrong. But when they ask me what I'm doing, I say I'm good. And I didn't really realize how lonely I was until I saw when I look around the room and I can see my family and their legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And that it sucker punched me.
But
And
you yourself said the reason you didn't go stems from trauma.
yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. But that's why we need therapy. We don't talk about loneliness in black men, gay, straight, or otherwise. We don't talk about, and I don't know that black men can talk about being lonely. I've not heard any of my brothers, straight or gay, say, "Man, I feel lonely." I've heard the women in my life have said it to me. I just feel so bad. I feel lonely. I feel so sad. I feel alone. Right?
I'm
My
trying to.
brothers who are at alone are often the brothers I'm talking off of the ledge. Like, come back in here, brother. We got you. You're not by yourself. It's never that conversation of alone. And then I'm a man over 50. So loneliness looks a certain way. Right? I appreciate the compliments on the clothes. But the people that are going to grow me are going to check me. They're going to say, the people who love me are going to be like, yo, we're going to meet in the park. We're going to start writing. We're going to take action. Because if we're not growing together, why are we in each other's lives? Right? And we can't be afraid of therapy.
Many people aren't having that conversation.
Where can they have it? Why?
I don't know, man. I feel like, and that's where I feel like the bias is coming a little bit because I really In proclaiming that all black men need therapy, I was super reluctant to attend therapy because I had a tight circle. My circle was so tight that I could have these conversations, and even with the jokes that came with it, I knew they were listening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we have an interesting way to a way of navigating our relationship, but it's always founded around love and trust. So even when they I'll say, I don't think I've ever said it, but if I did, like, I'm lonely, like, I'm sure some jokes would come, but it would be a sincere, like, how can we help immediately?
I don't believe that's true. I believe with your brothers, they would be there the next day.
Yeah,
They
with
wouldn't even
jokes.
do the they wouldn't even do the like, how can we help you right away? They would crack a joke, but two or three of them would be in a car going, "We just came over here because you was sounding real sensitive."
Yeah,
They'll
that's what
make
I
it
mean.
another joke,
Yeah,
but they would show, like, they show up. You all, I have watched y'all as young men become mature, become even more mature men, right? Always mature, always focused, but y'all love has never been in question.
no, it's
And
always.
nobody's back has hit the ground for more than a day, if at all. I'm giving it a day because if I told you what I really feel, people wouldn't believe me. But I promise you, I've watched you all catch each other in the whole nine.
Yeah.
My problem has been being that person for other people and not allowing people to be that for me. And I recognize as I've gotten older, that's a trauma response around belonging, a trauma response around feeling valued, and also that superhero stuff around not wanting other men to go through what I've been through.
Explain that a little bit more.
Um, I have I have watched people be decimated because they were vulnerable.
Yeah. Yes.
I had a woman recently say, and y'all forgive me, I'm gonna say exactly what she said. If we both bitches, then who gonna be the man? And I'm like, so would you like for him to call you that or treat you that way? Well, no, he can't call me that. But do you hear what you just said?
Right. 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 Right.
If your man come to you like and say, baby, I'm tired, I'm struggling. I'm like, do you understand what happens to that man that you help get up? If you do it right, he's gonna keep getting up for you.
But
If you
there's
do
an
it,
adverse. Go ahead.
you're gonna rebuild him to get up, but he gonna leave and he gonna start getting up for somebody else.
There's an adverse. I'm saying there's an adverse effect to that because if he tells you he's tired and is struggling and you've helped him get up, like you said, the the level up that happens after that
What?
for the both of you is exponentially powerful. However, if he's met with resistance or ridicule, he may still stay, but you never get that vulnerable side of him ever again.
No.
He doesn't talk to you, so now he's bottling up, and now you wonder why he's so upset because he can't talk to you. I've been a big advocate of keeping the space safe and, like, holding space for your dude in a way that allows him to feel that way because it takes us a very long time to lower our guard. And when we do, it's because we feel safe. But once that safe space is violated, whew, it is a nightmare for us to get back to that.
And we have to also be accountable. We knew that person wasn't safe when we started talking. I think a
Yeah,
lot of times we're hoping for the best, but we also get to be with what we also co-create. I think that piece becomes a different kind of conversation too. And I think my brothers, I want us to be accountable for what we're creating,
when you say that, what
right?
do you mean?
What I mean by that is that sometimes we'll create situations and scenarios, but we'll become the victim when we actually volunteered for the experience, right? We become the victim of our choices. And then now that we've made this choice, it's like, oh, well, I'm like, but you chose that for yourself and you kept choosing it for you. And now you have the result of said choice, but you're acting surprised. An example would be like, let's say in a relationship, right? You move in like you private, but you really secretive. And what begins to happen, you're creating a level of distrust. And your intentions can be well meaning. But the person, but if this woman is constantly saying, "Do you love me?" or "Where are you going?" or "Where have you been?" I would say stop for a moment and go, how much of that is her insecurity and how much of that is my behavior? Right? I think when we ask that question of why all black men need therapy, we also want to ask, why we act the way we act, why we say the things we say, and then why do we feel the way we feel? Right? Like why are we feeling that way? I had to ask myself the question, why are you feeling alone? Why are you feeling lonely? I don't go out on dates. Why are you feeling alone or lonely? I have locked myself into this community of the work that I do. I stopped going outside of my community to do poetry and music and all those other things. When I looked up, I had walled myself around me, and I'm clear I stayed single too long, but I walled myself around me, and then I became fat. I became unwanted. I became unattractive, and all of
Uh,
those.
is that a personal perception?
Absolutely, because what else can you hear if you're only by yourself,
Hmm.
right? I heard a sister named Sharia say, sometimes you got to borrow the beliefs of others so you can believe it about yourself.
Yeah, in simple terms, fake it till you make it.
I'm saying don't fake it. I'm saying you are who you are.
For
I'm
sure.
saying you absolutely. I think that's the thing. We've been taught to fake it till we make it so much we fake okay.
Touche. I want to give a shout out before we continue. First of all, anybody out there, we put the link in the chat. We're trying something a little different now. We got the link in the chat, and if you care to join the conversation, click the link. You'll be in the backstage, and you got to be on camera. We'll let you in. You can join the conversation with us. But I want to give a shout out to my homegirl and an avid supporter of the show, my girl Reese. But Reese says sometimes we don't allow people to be for us what we have been for them to prevent ourselves from being let down and disappointed, especially if we've always been let down.
Can she just jump on the thing now? Last time her hair wasn't done. Her hair is done now. Get on the situation.
Now Reese full of gems, and I still didn't send her that thing. Side note, I still didn't send you the first section of the book, Reese, but I'm gonna send it to you. Secondly, this is about the third week in a row. And I told you I'm super forgetful. I have asked your skinny punk black ass to send me your address 7 times now.
Who, me?
Who me?
Yo, I sent you the. Oh my whole god, y'all! In real time, I'm about to send Chief my address. What again?
You didn't send it to me the first time. Don't do that.
This is why black men need therapy.
You send it to me, butter?
No, but this ADHD you got is wearing me out. Now I don't know how we
Oh,
jumped all the way to this address, but go ahead, young man.
because I just remembered that I was supposed to send Reese the joint.
See how that worked?
Yeah, so we both guilty on this end.
Okay, go
Um,
ahead.
no, so to her point about about not being able to extend ourselves to others because we fear disappointment. That's there's so many layers to that because I think I'll speak for myself in many situations. What I've done is place an expectation on people based off of how I would react, and I have been disappointed more often than not, and have gotten an earful from the fellas over expectations I put on total strangers, and we go back and forth to the elevator situation, and out there the fellas never let me live it down, and it's just like I was just being courteous and hoping that the man would respond, and when he didn't respond, they felt like I was aggressive. I felt like I was just trying to get him to hear me, whatever. But when we place these expectations on people and they don't meet the standard, however low that standard may be, is it, I guess, fair to be disappointed?
It's absolutely fair, but the only problem is you didn't clarify the expectation. You just held one. We
Right.
often do that. We'll hold an expectation, but we won't communicate it. And then what we get when we have, and I learned this doing case management for years, when you set expectations, also set yourself up to be disappointed.
Right, but we don't think about. I don't think about that.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like when we're in community, I'm talking about friendships, whatever the ship is that you're sailing on. I feel like if you don't communicate the expectation, then you can't expect anything but disappointment. And you have a right to the disappointment. If there's no right to have, I don't think you have a right to people who have not had the opportunity to negotiate what they can deliver.
You broke up a
Yo,
little
Chief,
bit, so run that back one more time.
I think for me, it's the idea that with expectation, we have to let go of that desire to like we sit with the disappointment, and in us sitting with the disappointment, yes, we have a right to it, but we don't get to have these expectations and then not communicate them like the person's supposed to get it through osmosis.
Well, I mean, so for my situation, it was very, very simple and trivial. But I'm in the elevator. I walk in. I say good morning, and dude doesn't say good morning back. Like he didn't hear me. So I'm like, good morning. He said, oh, good morning. And Bell was like, yo, that man don't got to talk to you. I'm like, all I said was good morning. And he's like, yeah, but you was aggressive in the second one. I'm like, I didn't think I was, but I was trying to. Maybe he didn't hear me, so I said it again. You know what I'm saying? But like that right there is a simple, minor, minuscule expectation, but I felt some type of way.
Well, did you consider that he had already decided to be ignored?
No, I didn't
Because
consider
what he
that
said,
or what type of day he had been having, or you know what I'm saying, whether he was a morning person or not. None of that. It was just a simple greeting that I had an expectation to be responded to, and it didn't happen. And it kind of.
so let me ask you a question. Do you get upset when people don't say thank you when you hold the door?
Yeah, I do.
Right. So why did you hold the door?
Because it's just a polite and kind thing to do.
Notice you didn't say for the thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Polite and kind is on you. But you were
100%.
what you were being was nice. All of us have been nice to people. Kind would be like, they probably think about something else and keep it moving, as opposed to considering that in other cultures, they don't do that. There are cultures that don't hold the door for you. They go in, you go in behind them. It's this American kind of like facade of niceness because it's not kind. That's an American quality. I'm going to be nice to you up to the point that I think you're worthy of my niceness. Kind is holding the door and walking away.
Yeah, that could be it. But I think also what happens is the dude was a white dude. So I think instantly when things don't go the right way between races, the racism is the first card that comes to play. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, but again, that is why all black men need therapy. Because when something like that happens, the first thing we do is go, oh, he don't mess with black people, or is it because I'm black? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's absolutely because you're black, but not for the reasons you think. Like, notice he said, "Oh, hello." For him, he was even taken aback, like, "Oh wait, he spoke to me. Oh hey, hello." Right? Like he was in it for that moment because wherever he was, his mind wasn't even on you.
Right. That could be it too. Well,
but
we still talking about this. Shit was 5 years ago. It's still coming up in conversation.
Because I don't think we're talking about that moment. I think we're talking about moments where our intention was one thing, but we never considered, I say flipping it on its ear, we never considered what kind of day that man was having. Mm-hmm. Aggressive, not progressive in the second one. I believe that we never considered this person may not have heard me because he may have been doing something pertaining to him, not us. And so we get to respect that. It's the same way, like, if you ask your girl, hey, let's go to the movies, and she says no, what do you make up?
But I don't understand the question. What do I make up?
Yes. If the young lady you're talking to says, hey, I'm going to go to the movies, and she says, I don't want to go to the movies, what do you make up?
I'm not sure I understand your question. Answer the question.
You understand it. What I'm saying is, what do you make up about what she said? What story do you create around what she said when she says, I don't want to go to the movies?
I don't know. My first thought, maybe she want to be in the crib with me. She want to stay home with the kid.
Very few people think that way. Most people assume that she don't want to go to the movies with them. Or they've made up a new story, right? We're always making up stories, but we never go get the facts. We only stay in the belief. And then we engage our beliefs as if they're facts. and we go get evidence of said belief. And it's a limiting belief because those kind of beliefs can only take us so far. Is it the truth?
Mm.
Reese over there writing stuff.
I'm taking some notes, but okay. So again, to that point right there is why all black men need therapy. As something as simple as having to process a lack of response to a good morning, and it just went to a whole different degree because of.
Yep. Who needed the good morning though?
I don't know who needed it.
You.
I can't say it was a necessity. It
Yeah,
was.
you needed it. You worked for it. No judgment, but you worked for it. You needed the good morning. And not because you needed it from him, right? You wanted your kindness, your respect to be respected.
Fair.
You didn't say we didn't get off this elevator till you say good morning. Like you weren't. I don't think you were hostile, but
No,
I
no.
do think that on some level we need those. We sometimes it's a way to belong. I think sometimes like we never talk about belonging, but I think a lot of us just want to belong, man.
That's
You want
that.
to be seen. I think black men want to be seen as equal. I don't care how many degrees you got. When you walk outside with our hats turned backwards and jeans and a t-shirt, we just another nigga to society.
To society. So let me dial it back a little bit, brother. When I don't even know the right way to word or frame this, but when did therapy
Yes.
become something of relevance in your world? I can't even say important. I'm going to say relevance.
I was in a mind-numbing depression after my mom died in 2018. She didn't die in 2018, but the version of mom that I knew was gone.
So at a big age, therapy. It was like, oh, therapy is important. Okay, interesting.
Well, I was moving in my life under a belief that I got
Okay.
it. I love that.
I think Bell exacerbated that moment. We'll get to that later. Sherry Reese said, nah, Bell said it was hostile, and I don't think that was the case.
That's so funny.
Nevertheless, so I can say for me, it was
Yeah.
at a big. I think I might have been 27, 8ish, 8, 9ish. And this was prior to my brother being taken. I think it was a rough patch in my relationship with my daughter's mother, and I was like, I've heard of couples therapy. Let me look into this.
Mm. See
Other
how
than
you did the high finger quote?
right,
Yeah.
again, that was to that point. It was like I've heard of couples therapy. Let me see what that could do for us. But I didn't know what I didn't know, and I thought it was the right thing to do, but wasn't necessarily invested in the therapeutic part of it. Wasn't invested in really like taking it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
And that's when therapy became like, I guess, real in my world, because it
Yeah.
wasn't a conversation we were having growing up. Like we wasn't talking about therapy growing up. We'd hear about it, and it was super taboo because we just wasn't talking, not let alone talking about therapy.
Well, the idea of therapy, when you were younger and when I was a little older than you, um, we were all taught, not all, many of us in black homes were taught that, if you go to therapy, you crazy.
Yeah,
Today, you
yeah,
don't go to therapy, you crazy.
right.
Right? But there was a time when when people mention therapy, oh, you can't, because we also think about how women are judged because of postpartum
Mm,
today.
mm,
Because our grandmothers and our moms didn't have the luxury of a conversation around postpartum. You dealt with whatever that thing was you had after the baby, and you hope for the best. And many survived, many didn't,
mm,
until we had to name it. With us, it was about naming the pain. People always compliment me on my clothes. I'm very flattered. Nobody ever asked me how I got to it.
mm.
I was in high school about to commit suicide, senior year. My mother did not take me to a therapist. She took me and bought me a Mark Buchanan leather jacket that I looked on Arsenio Hall show one night and MC Hammer was wearing. I was like, oh, and that's how I got introduced to clothes.
Right, and that. But again, and you have said it a couple of times. I'm not sure we've ever said the words retail therapy, but that literally is a coping mechanism for you, bro.
Dude, it's a deep descension into depression. It's a deep descension into depression. It becomes retail therapy until you get the bill.
How long did it take you to say that though? Did it
Ooh.
take you to realize that? Because
Well,
that's a bold
well into my 40s.
policy.
Well into my 40s when the mask fell off and I couldn't manage emotionally.
Mhm,
And I was like sitting by myself, rocking on the edge of a couch in a black ass apartment, standing on all those nice clothes because I couldn't clean up or move. I
mhm.
was like, oh, something wrong. And it was, and I would, what the therapist told me is that I had high functioning depression, which meant that I could front face get shit done.
Mhm.
But when I was craving the crib.
Yeah, and I remember, like you say, high functioning depression. I remember being in the middle of my depression, not knowing it was depression, and still functioning. I'm not gonna say high functioning because I felt sad, I felt heavy, but I never labeled it depression. And then in one of the sessions one of the episodes we were recording, I'm like, yeah. So for like 2.5 years, I'm just functioning in it, and I'm like, I was literally depressed for 2.5 years, and I remember going like, yo, 2.5 years is a long time. And I was like, yo, some people live like this, bro.
I was depressed for about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah,
Chill.
and I'm just like, wow, you're right. Like I was thinking like, yo, bro, you spent 2.5 years depressed. Like, come on, bro, get out of that. But like, literally, this is some people's normal state.
When would you have the opportunity to sit down, father, dean, coach? When were you supposed, son, patriarch?
That
When would you
was
have had the chance to have sat down for real?
it wasn't an option for me at that time.
So imagine like you trying to navigate, right? The duality of surviving and depression.
Yeah. I didn't feel like it was an option, but the truth of it is, it certainly had gotten the best of me, and it took me reading a book on the 5 stages of grief to acknowledge it, or to understand or to learn of it as depression, and then go, oh yeah, I was depressed.
Yeah. And people don't, and so think about how many black men in your circle, it may not necessarily, and I'm not talking about your innermost circle, but some of your, exterior circles, how many of them have said to you, man, I feel like I'm depressed?
Can't think of many. And even my immediate circle who have been depressed. Um, Shout out to my man Influence. Influence, what's goody, bro? If you want to jump on with us. Link in the chat. I'll throw it in there one more time. But I even with them, like I remember it might have been me or one of them being like, yeah, knows me. Like I was like, I'm not okay. Like I'm not depressed, but I'm not okay. Like we immediately want to rule that out when that could have very well been the possibility.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, or I had too much ego to own it, to acknowledge it and call it depression. Again, my younger brother of 3 years was murdered, but and I remember talking to KO the day of it, like, yeah, we had rehearsal the next day, and I'm like, yeah, I'll come down. He's like, dude, like I had no real experience with that, so he's like, dude, like, no, like no, like stay home and handle your business. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to process in that moment. And it's unfortunate because I think a lot of dudes in circumstances like that won't even acknowledge, confess, open up to, assimilate with depression.
Where can their vulnerability live? Where?
I,
Point to it. Show me on the map. Where are black men today, who are not in a place of self-reflection, know, how to access that? When you think about my brothers who are plugged up in gangs and stuff like that, I'm fascinated about the infrastructures and how we language relationship in those, even in those atmospheres.
mm-hmm.
Yo, fam, right? Like there's an access point and a belonging that I think all crave. But when I look at black men who I was raised with, who are in gangs and stuff like that, that's where they're to be themselves
Mm-hmm.
or to be seen in a particular way. And the only, for some of them, not all, the only language was like war. When you're angry, you reach out, you tear something up because it's the
Because the
only
only
way you're going to be.
right, you say war, and I can just break it down in simple terms, but the word is anger. We're not gonna call it depression. We angry. We're not gonna call it sadness. We angry. It's not called loneliness. I'm angry. We won't want to label the real emotion behind us. Somehow those feelings translate into anger, and then it's a lash out. Because we won't say I'm lonely. Because we won't say my brother was murdered and I'm now depressed.
And many social workers will teach us that behind all behavior is meaning.
Is what?
Behind all behavior is meaning.
Yeah.
Everybody don't have like this audible access to language. Sometimes it's in our body. It's a teeth suck, an eye roll. It's a visceral response that is not always accompanied with this, this drop down box. This is what this means when he or she does this. No. But if everything is rooted in anger, then we react to the anger and not the issue.
I have to now go back tomorrow and have this conversation with the young men I'm coaching in football. I'm helping my buddy coach his 8th grade football team. And today at practice, there was a young man who was playing free safety in the middle of the field, doing his assignment perfectly, but couldn't tell me what he was doing. So what coverage are we in? Cover 3. What is your responsibility? To cover the middle of the field, right? From where to where? From hash mark to hash mark. Okay, awesome. Where should you line up? 12 and a half yards. He was at 12. Okay, perfect. Cool. And then he did his thing. And then I asked him again, complete brain fart. And I asked him again, couldn't answer the question. What coverage are we in? What's your responsibilities? Where's your alignment? He could not answer the question. And it got to the point where I was asking him in front of the team. And then he just got up and was like, "Kid, I don't want to do this no more." Like, "Hey, I don't want to do this no more." Like, I was really upset. I grabbed him and I held on to him and calmed him down and talked. He was crying and everything, like big mad. And it could have been because he was being put on the spot. That's fine. But I was trying to impart on him that you're a super talented football player. I want you to be a super smart football player. The more you know what you're doing, the easier it is for you to do what you do.
Here's the challenge. You probably have said something that other people don't say.
What's that? You're breaking up. I'm sorry.
You're not. He's not. What you're probably not saying. What he's probably not hearing is that he's smart.
No, right. So we had to have that conversation.
What he's probably hearing is that there's more to life than football. But if you took that same position and laid it over into his life, this is your responsibility in the house. When you're playing this position in the house, I want you to see this, and this. It's the way we may have to language it for him in such a way where not only am I doing this on the field, but this is how I'm applying this to my life. And then understand that this is your role. I'm not telling you to go home and be grown. I'm telling you to be the best version of a child you know how to be, but now you have information. It's not just about you cleaning your room. What happens when you clean your room? That's what happens when you play your position. Like, it's for our babies, it's about languaging it in such a way where he does get it. And It's whatever that learning is for him. It sounds like he's somebody that can show you. So he may be a visual learner.
And so, and this is how, and no, like this, and again, this is an affirmation for me. This is how I know that I'm good at what I do. Because
Yeah.
after we had this conversation, what I told him was, I want you to go home and I want you to draw up what we talked about today. I want you to show me the field. I want you to show me the thirds. I want you to show me who's where they're supposed to line up. And I showed it to him on the phone. And I'm like, you might be a visual guy. So if you can see it, it might make more sense to you. You know what I'm saying? But that's a testament to like knowing, just being good at what you do, man. Like I had that whole conversation, but wanted to make sure that I gave him another way to learn it so that he
Yeah.
would retain that information. I'm like, I want you to be able to teach me this tomorrow. And he was like, all right, coach. And it was just, he and his dad and I had a conversation after practice, and it was really, really cool to like, talk to his dad and let him know what happened. But like, yeah, I pushed him a little bit today. I pushed him and I challenged him, and he responded the way he did, but he bounced back and he's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And it was just really, really cool. So, but again, and I tell that whole story to say there is I don't know, a social anxiety trauma there, or an insecurity in intelligence and intellect there, or something that we have to probably dig a little bit deeper to. And what are you in 8th grade? 13? 12, 13?
He's about 11, about 12, 13.
Yeah, about 12, 13. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? And if I can get to him now, I'm sure at the end of this season, I will have assisted in molding some pretty talented football players, but creating some pretty balanced young men. And that's what this is about for me.
So in the work that I do, there's a thing called the 100th monkey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about this young monkey. She is named Emo after the Japanese term for sweet potato. And the idea is that this young monkey found sweet potatoes, loved them. She would drop the sweet potatoes. They accidentally rolled in the water. Monkeys don't swim.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to figure out how she was going to get these sweet potatoes. She loved these sweet potatoes. She went and got it. She ate the clean sweet potato. Then she, inside of herself, decided she was going to go share it with other folks. In her village, she went and got those other monkeys. She showed them how to fake trip and drop them in the water. Over time, those monkeys began to dump the sweet potatoes in the water. Another group of called the scientists that were watching them on that particular island. They were like, "Yo, these monkeys over here are dumping their sweet potatoes in the water." They call it the 100th monkey because I think after it got to maximum capacity, it leaped over the water. The energy of it. If why all black men need therapy so that eventually black boys won't.
Was it Frederick Douglass? It's easier to raise strong men, raw strong boys, and repair broken men. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. Listen, we can talk about this all day. I think we should revisit this conversation again next week on just why all black men need therapy, because we bounced around in a bunch of different ways. And it's interesting how this happens, because I always feel like when we go off script, the episodes don't land as hard. But I got like 5 or 6 text messages last week from people saying, that episode was a good one. I learned so much, or, it was a great listen. And it's just like, I thought we were all over the place. So please keep us posted on your thoughts on the episodes. If you have something you want us to talk about, something that's, that's on your spirit, you want to come talk with us about that, please feel free to tap in. Before we jump into that, Butter, let's give the people our final thoughts, man. Go ahead. You up first.
I guess my challenge in the final thoughts is that we leave our final thoughts at why black men need therapy, why we think all black men need therapy. I believe all black men need therapy because of the trauma that our fathers hold, the trauma that our grandfathers hold, the trauma that our young boys hold. I think that, well, I know for sure I needed therapy because I was trying to be someone that God loved, but constantly being told that God didn't love me. And it wasn't until I left the church that I found God. and then return back to the church, very clear that not only was I by God's design, but everybody around me was already perfect. Perfect because we're designers, originals, and no one is like us. But I am undone whenever the little boy in me doesn't feel like he belongs. And so I stress that I need therapy to remember not to forget who I am.
Mm, I hear that. Well said. Very well said. Couple points in here that I want to think of is one, fellas, women, people, there is a little person inside of us that is in dire need of some healing. And whether you want to acknowledge that or not, there is something there that can be taken back to, again, our fathers, our childhoods. We can go all the way back to slavery and connect it to our lives today. And I I implore you all to kind of just dig within and find out, ask yourself why we respond the way we do to certain things. And secondly, the question I asked Butter has been, I guess, permeating in my mind. And I really would like you all to ask yourself, when did therapy become present in your world? When did it become real? When did it become a conversation? When was it something that you truly considered or heard of or had a conversation about? Because I was well into my 20s before therapy was something that was even a consideration. And I believe, obviously we all need the therapy, but I think the sooner the better we learn to process our emotions and communicate them, the better off we will be as adults. With that being said, y'all, we're gonna wrap this thing like we always do. We have a voice line. It is 860-410-6160. 860-410-6160. Shoot us a text, give us a call. Somebody called the other day. I meant to text them back. They didn't leave a voicemail, but I'm gonna text them back and just make sure they're good. If you don't want to do the voicemail or the text, shoot us an email at allblackmenneedtherapy@gmail.com. We are on all social media platforms at All Black Men Need Therapy. It's been a beautiful thing. We created this podcast. Our mission is to create a safe space for Black men to openly engage in conversations surrounding their mental health. We are here every week to the best of our ability, and we're just trying to Mahatma Gandhi, y'all, man, and be the change we wish to see. You know what I'm saying? Lead by example and hope that we can get someone else to follow. So, per usual, y'all, we appreciate y'all for tapping in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We need some more views, likes, and followers. So what's the key? The cliche: like, share, subscribe, and that's that. So do us all a favor and hug a Black man today.
Please, y'all.
And tomorrow. We out.